Hello and welcome to Study with Sri. I am covering M.Laxmikant chapter wise. This is the last video of historical background. In description box I provide the link of playlist of historical background. So, Indian Independence Act of 1947. On February 20, 1947, British Prime Minister was Clement Attlee. He declared that British rule in India would be ended by June 30, 1948. After which the power would transfer to the responsible Indian hands. This announcement was followed by agitation by the Muslim League demanding partition of the country. So Muslim League demand किया कि they want partition. Again on June 3rd, 1947, British government made it clear that any constitution framed by the Constituent Assembly of India, which was formed in 1946, cannot apply to those part of country which were unwilling to accept it. Means, on June 3rd, 1947, British government declare किया any constitution framed by Constituent Assembly of India cannot apply to those part of the country which were unwilling to accept it. On the same day, June 3rd, 1947, Lord Mountbatten, the Viceroy of India, put forth partition plan, which was known as Mountbatten Plan. So, the plan was accepted by the Congress as well as Muslim League because Muslim League wants partition plan. Immediate effect was given to the plan by enacting Indian Independence Act of 1947. So, the features of this act. It ended the British rule in India. As we all know that Indian Independence Act 1947 ended the British rule in India and declared India as an independent and sovereign state from August 15, 1947. It provided for partition of India and creation of two independent dominions of India. Two independent dominions. One was India and another Pakistan, with a right to secede from British Commonwealth. They can secede from British paramountcy, British Commonwealth. It abolished the office of Viceroy. You know that the office of Viceroy was created under Government of India Act 1958 and first Viceroy was Lord Canning. So, in this act, it abolished the office of Viceroy and provided for each dominion a Governor General. वाइसरॉय का ऑफिस जो था वो एबोलिश किया एंड प्रोवाइड किया फॉर ईच डोमिनियन ए गवर्नर जनरल हु वाज टू बी अपॉइंटेड बाय ब्रिटिश किंग ऑन द एडवाइस ऑफ द डोमिनियन कैबिनेट. ओके, सो हिज मैजेस्टीज गवर्नमेंट मीन्स ब्रिटिश इन ब्रिटेन was to have no responsibility with respect to government of India and Pakistan. It empowered constituent assemblies of two dominion to frame and adopt any constitution for their respective nation, to repeal any act of British Parliament including Indian Independence Act itself. So ये जो एक्ट था वो एम्पावर किया कॉन्स्टिट्यूएंट असेंबली को ऑफ टू डोमिनियन दैट इज इंडिया एंड पाकिस्तान टू फ्रेम एंड अडॉप्ट एनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन ऑफ देयर रेस्पेक्टिव नेशन एंड टू रिपील एनी एक्ट ऑफ ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट. ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट का कोई भी एक्ट रिपील कर सकते हैं इंक्लूडिंग दिस इंडिपेंडेंस एक्ट इटसेल्फ. इट एम्पावर्ड the constituent assemblies of both dominion to legislate of their respective territories till the new constitution was drafted and enforced. No act of British Parliament passed after August 15, 1947 was to extend to either of the new dominion unless it was extended thereto by a law of legislature of dominion. Means कोई भी एक्ट ब्रिटिश पार्लियामेंट का पास नहीं होगा आफ्टर August 15, 1947 and was to extend to either of new dominion unless it was extended thereto by a law of legislature of dominion. It abolished, ये abolish किया the office of Secretary of State for India. We know that office of Secretary of State was created by Government of India Act 1958 and this act abolished the office of Secretary of State in India and transferred his function to Secretary of State for Commonwealth Affairs. So, this act abolished the office of Secretary of State for India and इनका जो पावर था वो ट्रांसफ़र कर दिया गया टू द सेक्रेटरी ऑफ स्टेट फॉर कॉमनवेल्थ अफेयर्स. It proclaimed the lapse of British paramountcy over the Indian princely states and treaty relation with tribal areas from August 15, 1947. So ये proclaim किया that the lapse of British paramountcy over the Indian princely state. Indian princely state में British का जो paramountcy था वो lapse हो गया and treaty relation with tribal areas from August 15, 1947. It granted freedom to Indian princely state. Very important. This act granted freedom to Indian princely state. And Indian princely state either can join the dominion of India or dominion of Pakistan or to remain independent. Okay. So this act grant freedom to Indian princely state. And Indian princely state have power to join either in dominion of India or dominion of Pakistan, or they can remain independent. This act provided for the governance of each of dominions and the provinces of Government of India Act of 1935 till the new constitution was framed. So ये act provide किया for the governance of each dominion and the provinces by the Government of India Act 1935 till the new constitution was framed. The dominions were however authorized to make modification in the act. अगर dominion को लगा, they can modify the Government of India Act of 1935. It deprived the British monarch of his right to veto bills or ask for reservation of certain bills for his approval. तो ये deprive किया British monarch को of his right to veto bills and ask for reservation of certain bills of his approval. But this right was reserved for the Governor General. But Governor General के पास ये right reserve रहेगा. The Governor General would have full power to assent to any bill in the name of His Majesty. Next, it designated the Governor General of India and the Provincial Governor as constitutional, that is nominal heads of the state. Very important. This act designated Governor General of India and the Provincial Governor as the constitutional or nominal head of the state. They were made to act on the advice of the respective Council of Ministers in all the matters. So, they were made to act on the advice of Council of Ministers in all the matters. Next, it dropped the title of Emperor of India from the royal title of King of England. So, ये act के through it dropped the title of Emperor of India from the royal titles of King of England. Next, it discontinued the appointment of civil services and reservation of the post by Secretary of State for India. So, ये act discontinued किया the appointment of civil services and reservation of the post by Secretary of India. The members of the civil services appointed before August 15, 1947 would continue and enjoy all benefits that they were entitled to that time. So, at the stroke of 14th August 1947, the British rule came to an end and power was transferred to the two new independent dominions, that is India and Pakistan. Lord Mountbatten became the first Governor General of India in new dominion of India. Lord Mountbatten became the first Governor General of new dominion of India. He showed in Jawaharlal Nehru as the first Prime Minister of independent India. The Constituent Assembly of India, formed in 1946, became the Parliament of Indian Dominion. So, by this, we end the chapter of historical background, and next I'll start the constitutional body. So, stay tuned and subscribe.